To navigate a non-physical environment, 1970s researchers faced an immediate barrier. Human language is constructed entirely around physical space and linear time, making it inadequate. Before reliable exploration could begin, they had to engineer a precise vocabulary to translate non-spatial events into recognizable concepts. They developed specific terms for distinct frequencies of consciousness. The physical universe itself was designated the time-space illusion, or TSI, while erratic, uncontrollable thought patterns were classified as the M-band. Navigational coordinates became known as an ident, a specific mental address to lock onto. And when an explorer received a complete, instantaneous packet of memory and experience, they recorded it as a rote. Creating this rigid taxonomy allowed researchers to strip away subjective mysticism. They were no longer dealing with hallucinations. They were gathering measurable navigational data. With a vocabulary established, the focus shifted to the physiology of departure. In the laboratory, monitors tracked the explorer's physical baseline as the body entered the deep vibrational paralysis necessary for separation. Measurements mapped the metrics of this initial phase. The consciousness expands into a secondary form, hovering 4 inches above the resting body. Maintaining this orbit is precarious. If emergency re-entry is required, a rigid shoulder shrug instantly pulls the secondary form back into alignment. To move beyond this localized orbit, the surveyor must clear all lingering earthly anxieties. They visualize a heavy mental repository box, place every single distracting thought inside, and mentally lock it shut. This strict mental isolation severs the final tethers to physical vulnerability. The conscious essence is then free to form a third body, a state of pure energy ready for the deep outward survey. The initial jump takes the explorer into the near-Earth borderlands. Here lies a zone researchers called Sleeper's Class, an environment where thousands of oblivious humans receive passive instruction during deep natural sleep. Operating consciously within this space, an explorer can intercept guidance. An instructor telepathically transmitted a specific rote, a mathematical protocol designed to eliminate human anxiety. Human worry is driven by indecision, yet outcomes favor correctable results 3-to-1. To resolve this, researchers employed 3 lists. Uncontrollable concerns go to List A and are discarded. Actionable tasks populate List B. Mental energy then systematically flows to List C, long-term goals. In the non-physical environment, mental hygiene is a strict operational requirement. Unresolved earthly anxiety acts as a heavy gravitational tether that simply prevents deeper navigation. Pushing further outward requires finding near-human cultures to use as staging grounds. The explorer accomplishes this by dialing a specific ident signal to lock on to a resonant consciousness. One connection locked on to Ident Z-55, a Havana musician named Lou. In exchange for out-of-body data, Lou provided coordinates to an alien civilization, Zirserge. Past human relationships serve as crucial navigational beacons. They provide the stable anchors of familiarity required to execute safe jumps into unknown territories. The arrival in Zirserge revealed a sunless, uniform environment. The city consisted of stark, identical buildings, populated by featureless, genderless inhabitants moving in rigid patterns. Stepping inside a local structure, the environment turned immediately hostile. The explorer was hit by a suffocating wall of pure female sexual radiation and swiftly cornered by local authorities, acting as a kind of perceptual KGB. Invading this private space carried an immediate penalty. Authorities forced the explorer's hands onto a flat box, coating them in a creeping black dye. The survey ended abruptly. A colossal wave of solid earth and concrete rolled through the city's streets like liquid, forcing an emergency abort. This violent ejection proved that the outer realms are not passive dreamscapes. They are structurally volatile environments, requiring strict, instantaneous abort protocols for survival. Relinquishing navigational control entirely to his higher self, the explorer dropped deeper into the lower post-physical realms, a heavy, dense region classified as Locale 2. The geographic terrain at this depth was horrifying. A massive, slanting mountain stretched upward, composed entirely of millions of writhing, glistening human forms. These entities were physically dead. Yet they remained trapped in an eternal, oblivious loop, emitting an overwhelming radiation of desperate, unfulfilled biological desire. The explorer attempted a rescue, pulling one man clear of the mass and shouting warnings into his ear. The man was completely deaf to reason, violently clawing his way back to be swallowed by the pile. This mass revealed the ultimate trap of earthly existence. Biological drives, if left unmastered during a physical lifetime, harden into inescapable psychological prisons after death. The overarching purpose of these guided tours through raw, unvarnished realms was to lay the necessary groundwork for total psychological detachment. By observing these traps, the anxiety, the alien hostilities, and the mindless compulsions, without fear or participation, the explorer successfully neutralized his earthly attachments. The mapping of the local traffic, the intricate illusions of the physical world, was completely finished. The laboratory baseline protocols had succeeded. Stripped of earthly vulnerabilities, human consciousness was finally prepared to step onto the limitless, non-physical interstate.